Welcome to Retirement Decoded with your host, Scott Tucker, where we break down the complexities of retirement planning to give you clear, actionable advice. Whether you're just starting out or getting ready to retire, Scott's here to help you make informed decisions and secure your financial future. Tune in each week as we simplify the process and decode the path to a stress-free retirement. Now, here's your host, Scott Tucker.
Welcome back to the podcast. This is Scott Tucker on Retirement Decoded with Scott Tucker. My podcast sidekick is most of the time is Associate Advisor Andre Hootie. Say hello, Andre Hootie.
Hello, Andre Hootie.
Andre Hootie, we have a question on the podcast today from Bob. Bob says, Scott, I have a self-directed IRA with vacant lots in it. Andre, does that sound like a good idea?
No.
Actually, I don't like the idea of vacant lots at all because vacant lots do not create income, and they have property taxes.
Yeah.
They could even have liability.
It just seems like a money pit.
And they could be a money pit. So Bob has money pits in his IRA. No, so Scott, I have a self-directed IRA, and then he self-directed the IRA to purchase vacant lots of land. And the hard thing, Andre, why do we see so many storage units and golf courses and trailer parks and stuff? I mean, not only can they make their own income, be a viable business, but it's very difficult to hold vacant land. Mm-hmm. You'll even see people who own vacant land who will lease it to farmers so that they can receive a rent payment for the land from the farmer to use the land to grow something. So just vacant lots. When I hear vacant lots, I just think about this is a lot where you can build a house.
Yeah,
it's not farmable. It doesn't have a storage unit on it. Doesn't have a golf course. Doesn't have a trailer park. Those things like storage units, golf courses, and trailer parks, those are oftentimes used as a way to hold land temporarily so that it cash flows, so you can pay property tax. Yeah. A lot of folks don't know that. So there you go. Now you know, if you didn't know already. So Bob says, I have a self-directed IRA with vacant lots in it, as well as the typical funds. Andre, what are the typical funds?
I don't know the typical funds. There's a lot. There's thousands.
There's probably something like an S&P 500 mutual fund or something in there. I mean, if you want to be really typical.
The big indexes, basically.
I would rather not have mutual funds. I'd rather have exchange traded funds generally, but it's, be typical. If I convert this IRA to a Roth, will I need to sell the land? Well, Andre, I guess the only way around that might be, you could let's say the whole self-directed IRA was nothing but vacant lots, and let's say you Roth converted all of it all at once. You're going to need, Bob, to pay the IRS the federal income tax on the amount converted.
Yep.
That's the cleanest, simplest I can reword that question in that scenario. Now, let's say, Bob, you have half the value in the self-directed IRA is in vacant lots. The other half is in the quote-unquote typical funds. You might Roth convert, the land, and this is crazy. And then maybe sell off some of the typical funds, and then you could produce the cash to pay the federal income tax on the Roth conversion.
It's probably the simplest thing for him.
Well, none of this is simple.
Yeah, really.
Bob, this falls under just because you can doesn't mean you should. So they're putting the vacant lots in the IRA. Whenever somebody self-directs an IRA and they put real estate in there, that's hairy already. But then when you get to be where you have to you want to do a Roth conversion, or you have to take a required minimum distribution in your 70s, how do you
take a chunk of land?
Say if it was just one vacant lot and it was the entire value of say it was like $1 million vacant lot and is in your self-directed IRA, and then you get to be 73, let's say, and it happens to be your RMD age, and Uncle Sam says, okay, you got to take a distribution of say 4%.
Yeah.
So what do? Sell 4% of your $1 million lot?
Get a shovel.
You get a shovel, throw some dirt at him, mail him some dirt.
Hey, this is all I have, buddy.
You just mail him some dirt, say dirt don't hurt. If I convert this to a Roth, do I need to sell the land? Boy, you see, this is why we don't do this, Bob. Not specific advice. Your mileage may vary. If not, will I be taxed based on the purchase price or gain of current market value? No, Bob, in a traditional IRA, there is no capital gains tax. But
well, it's all income.
If I don't sell the land, I have to reword this. It makes some kind of a sentence in question. If I don't sell the land, will I be taxed based upon the purchase price or gain on current market value? Thank you for any input. this isn't a capital gains thing. This is not a non-qualified account. Non-qualified being not a qualified retirement plan. This is a qualified retirement plan. It's a traditional IRA. So this question, the way it's worded, is kind of weird. If not, as if I don't sell the land. If you Roth convert the land, you have to pay federal income tax on the value converted. Isn't that fun, Andre?
Oh, so fun. Well, I mean, hey, you know what? Roth conversions, though, if you get them out of the way now, right, you can have it grow tax-free. Bob, in your case, it's a tough thing. Land is not easy to Roth convert.
Well, it's not easy any which way. It doesn't even have producing an income from what it sounds like.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's at least in a good area for him, though, because, paying taxes on a bad piece of land.
Well, my next thought is there an emotional attachment to this land?
There usually is.
Yeah, right. Why am I going to own vacant land in my IRA?
Yeah, it's probably passed down or something, maybe.
You could hold an investment property like a rental building thing. You can self-direct into some sort of investment real estate. One thing you can never do is put your personal residence in your IRA. This is getting close to the line, but not over. This is supposed to be an investment piece of real estate, yet it's vacant land.
Yeah, it's not really an investment.
It doesn't sound like a good investment. It doesn't sound like much of an investment at all. The only way this could go well as an investment is if you had some kind of foresight and you got a good deal on the land, and it was going to be 5 years from now, there's going to be a subdivision built next to it, or there's going to be something going on.
Yeah.
But there's just vacant land. There's a reason why a lot of folks don't use it as an investment vehicle. Unless you're like a connected congressman, and you can get, what was it? Denny Hastert, I think, got in trouble for this in Illinois, or didn't get in trouble for this one way or the other. He bought a bunch of land and then he was trying to get the interstate to go by it. There was that interstate they were going to build south of I-80.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe if he has, and he actually went to prison for something else, though.
Yeah.
He went to prison for paying off that kid from the wrestling team.
Of all things to get caught
for.
For.
Jeez, of Pete's.
Yeah, but
they called that structuring.
Right. Yeah.
He was trying to avoid getting reported for increments of $10,000, so he made increments of $9,000. It's called structuring. It's a felony. It's a felony. Oh boy, that's a whole nother thing. So yeah, these vacant land, not a great investment. But this is the trouble with having real estate inside your IRA. You can self-direct a lot of things in your IRA, but real estate, man, it can be. It's difficult enough if you're 30 or 40. When you get to be 60 and 70 and beyond, it gets to be something you wish you didn't do, I think, in most cases.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want exposure to real estate, there's all sorts of. I'm not a fan of mutual funds. I stay away from those. Those typically are a little more expensive. The equivalent ETF for the mutual
exchange traded fund.
Exchange traded fund, exactly. Usually cheaper than its mutual fund co-part. So take a look at that, but. You can get a diversified exposure to real estate if that's what you're wanting to do, whether it be land or real estate businesses. You can get broader, better choices in that IRA versus than the
broader and potentially better.
Potentially
for our friends in compliance.
That's true for our friends in compliance, but compared to the land, I think it's better.
Potentially better. Something else. We have all the time that folks, long-time listeners of the podcast may know, Andre, that you're originally from Ukraine. You came to this country with your parents when you were 3 years of age, and your grandparents were 1 year before them. Mm-hmm. A lot of times people from the old country, whatever the old country is, it could be Poland, it could be anything. In your case, Ukraine. But a lot of times the folks from the old country, they fall in love with the idea of being a landlord. And we actually have a Peruvian couple that are clients, that's how they are. They love real estate. You know what I hate, Andre? I hate tenants. I already played Chicago landlord, and I decided I did not like it.
No, getting those 2 a.m. calls because the pipe burst or something.
My light bulb burned out.
Oh my God. That's bad.
I broke the key off in my lock.
Oh, that's the worst.
What else, Andre?
Oh, there's I broke the window, or somebody broke the window.
It's like my brother broke the window.
Yeah. There's always something.
Yeah, it's bad enough being a landlord. But some I was going to say, we have people in Chicagoland, and our clients are all around the country, but we have a number of clients in Chicagoland, and a lot of folks want to play landlord. And the thing you said about you can just own real estate in an exchange traded fund. You don't have to take the 2 a.m. call about the knucklehead that broke his key off in your lock. No, that's supposed to be your problem.
Yeah, no, it's make your life simpler. Just do it.
You mean you could make your life simpler, not more complex?
It's possible. I know it's hard to believe.
So, Bob, this is Pick on Bob Day. It's just an example of just because you can doesn't mean you should. And you may already. Bob didn't tell us if he's sick of this program or not yet. Meaning the podcast? No, the investing in vacant land inside his self-directed IRA. But you might get to where you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then it might be you're already talking about selling the land to Roth convert it. You might do that. It's just a mess. And you might also think about maybe get on our phone calendar at tuckerretirement.com. And we'll talk to you this coming week for free, 15 minutes over the telephone. It might be a good time to just think about, you didn't say how old you are now or how much life experience you have. Let's say you're 60, Bob. If you're tired of this vacant land speculatory deal in your self-directed IRA and you're 60, maybe we ought to just clear the calculator. Maybe we ought to sell. You know what? Well, here's one good thing. Bob, I got to give you one good thing. It's in self-directed IRA. You could sell this whole mess, liquidate it all, and there's no taxes because it's in self-directed IRA. Then Roth convert it. This is the best yet, Andre.
Yeah.
Sell all this crap. Sell your stupid land, Bob. Sell your typical funds. They're just typical. You sell all that. There's no taxable event in doing that. Then let's do a Roth conversion. We'll have to talk about that before we do it. We can do the federal withholding from the Roth conversion, so you don't have to come out of pocket. Then all the remaining money all is in a Roth IRA. Then we come up with an investment plan for you that makes sense. And no more vacant land. Even when you have vacant land, Andre, if you don't mow the land, you get a ticket from the city.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one example.
It's never-ending expenses.
Yeah. Or you own the vacant land and some Yahoo parks a Winnebago on it and it won't run. And now it's your job to get this Winnebago that there's any plates on it.
Well, what about the squatters laws?
And you get, oh boy. Yeah. You get a 15 dome tents full of Venezuelan migrants on your land.
And then you can't do
all these things are you have liability for everything that happens on your land too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's a tree on your land. Somebody's 5-year-old climbs up the top and falls out of it and breaks their leg or whatever. That's your liability.
Yeah.
It's not even your kid.
Even though, there's nothing on that land.
Yeah.
They weren't even allowed on that land.
You didn't even get a chance to whack that kid with a stick for being on your land.
Yeah, seriously.
He's got a broken leg. Now it's your fault.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-kid. Just don't be sending me medical bills. Your stupid kid climbing my stupid tree on my stupid vacant lands and my stupid self-directed IRA. Oh, boy. Yeah. Anyway, so, Bob, maybe you do that. Maybe you just sell all this nonsense, and then you're a free man. You do a Roth conversion, not specific advice. We have to talk about it. You withhold the federal income tax. Then you have actually cash in a Roth, and then we can purchase some low maintenance, maybe securities, maybe different exchange traded funds and things like that. We could even look at a lower volatility portfolio and different stuff. That sounds a lot better, doesn't it, Andre?
It does. Maybe he'll even get some income.
You might even get income. Yeah, that's not your stupid vacant land. All you do is get a tax bill. You get property taxes.
Yeah.
Oh boy, stupid vacant land.
Yeah, it's I'm with you there though, Scott. I do like that idea. Just sell everything and then but Bob, just keep in mind, if you do go about it that way or continue down that pathway and talk to more people, see what they think about this, selling everything. Just don't put that money into your bank account. That has to go to the IRA.
Andre, now we want Bob to talk to us. We don't want him to talk to more people.
Well, exactly.
You're not very helpful.
Well, he might want to talk to his CPA.
Have I told you about the overhead of the podcast studio?
Whatever the case, Bob, you definitely want to have a structured plan for how you're going to deal with the taxes down the line.
You're just going to ignore that I just told you that we have overhead here at the podcast studio.
Bob's going to give us his vacant land, so it's all taken care of.
Yeah, give it to us. No, Andre did make a good point. Other than telling you to talk to other financial planners, you don't want to do that.
Not planners. Just if you're going to go talk to your CPA, the only planner you should talk to is us.
Don't go talking to your CPA.
Well, yeah, they're going to do last year's tax returns.
They're good people, but darn it. But you made a good point, other than telling him to talk to other financial planners. You made a good point, Bob. What you don't do, I hope you heard us correctly, you don't just sell everything and then take your self-directed IRA and put the cash in your checking. I think you're smart enough not to know that. Now, Bob, you're dumb enough to buy vacant land and put it in your IRA, but you're smart enough to know not to cash out your IRA, put it in your bank account, and do all that hokey pokey. Oh boy, Bob.
It's an important piece that you'd be surprised how many people miss that, though, where they think they can just sell stuff out of their IRA, put it in their account, and then no taxes, and then next year.
It's just like the people that people think they can give their kid $50,000.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
how many times do we have that discussion every week?
Oh, at least once a week.
I mean, you can give your kid $50,000 now. Where's your gift tax return?
Yeah, and they're like, "What?
What do you mean? It's my kid."
There's a gift tax return.
Yeah, the IRS doesn't think it's your kid. The IRS thinks that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Anyway, that's another episode, Andre.
That's another taxpayer.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Your kid is government property. Your kid is not your kid. You've been listening to Retirement Decoded, the podcast with Scott Tucker. I'm your host, Scott Tucker. My sidekick here, Andre Hootie, Associate Advisor. Get on our phone calendar, 15 minutes for free in the coming week at tuckerretirement.com. Also, give us 5 stars on this goofy podcast. We try to make it goofy so that you can have some sort of fun with it. Because if we just read you the tax code for however long, that's not very exciting. And all that. And then also share the episode on the old face page. Well, it's been fun and it's been real. We'll see you on the next episode.
Scott Tucker Solutions, Inc. has a strategic partnership with tax professionals and attorneys who can provide tax and or legal advice. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. A Roth conversion is a taxable event and may have several tax-related consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA. The views and opinions herein are those of Scott Tucker Solutions, Inc. and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investment advisory services made available through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AEWM and Scott Tucker Solutions, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Scott Tucker Solutions, Inc. Scott Tucker Solutions, Inc. is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Scott Tucker Solutions, Inc. are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Scott Tucker Solutions, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this podcast shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Scott Tucker Solutions, Inc.